Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about a topic or the area which we have been hearing a lot about, right? And it's in the area of security, right? Now, the security area is something each and every organization, as well as each individual, is also interested to know and learn, right? And they also wanted to make sure they are implementing a right set of security. They are taking proactive actions instead of going for a reactive actions, right? And to be able to identify those loopholes and any of those issues in the infrastructure, be it a cloud based or be it hybrid setup or be it completely on premises environment, right? But still, the organizations can go ahead and take the proactive actions and not the reactive one, right? So reactive actions are those which are something has already happened and someone or we as an organization are trying to remediate those issues, right? And those are not really been expected at all because those impact the business systems and overall the business reputation as well, right? But the proactive one is going to give us as an organization to identify those situations which might be causing the business and applications and systems and business reputation, and what are those actions similarly we should take so that we don't really end up into that situation. Something like keep working on reactive actions, right? So there are two things and those will keep happening as well, right? Because not everyone is going to be available 24/7, but in the era of AI everything is possible, but still there is a lot of underground work that needs to be done when it comes to the customized solutions, make those solutions work for our basic needs. Not only basic, but each organization is unique and different, and they have different systems, different applications, different businesses, and they wanted to map all those systems and applications with the business alignment, right? And once we do that, then definitely it's going to work. But until and unless we don't do it, we really have to work on that and make those systems and applications uh, workable, as well as those should be mapped with the business needs and requirements, right? And the capability which I'm going to talk about is Security Copilot, right? So this is applicable for all across Microsoft 365 and Azure suite of products, right? And it also has different capabilities to work with the different services, different capabilities, different feature sets, right? Which is going to help us as an organization, as an user, as a customer to use that effectively for reactive as well as proactive actions, right? And that is why this is going to be the game changer for security teams, including security uh, engineers and people who are onto decision making process as well. At the same time, the people who are working on the ground level, where SecOps, security operations centers, and all those people who are actually working on incidents handling, incident management, and they are working on identifying those issues and take the actions. It could be proactive actions or reactive or remediating any of those issues, right? And this is something, the capability which every organization is trying to adopt and use it for their needs, right? And depending on the specific use case, specific needs and requirements, definitely organizations will think and use it. But this has a lot of capabilities, right? So what I'm going to show you in this video is to where we can integrate this one and how that can be integrated with, right? And even I'm going to show you the demo of integration with Microsoft 365 and its ecosystem together so that we can go ahead and do the proactive as well as a reactive activities or a reactive work on it, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let me share my screen quickly here and I'll show you how we can go ahead and start with. All right, so you can see that I'm on 365 admin portal, and from here we have option. So currently I'm on Intune portal, and from here also we can go ahead and integrate Security Copilot, right? And similarly, it is also available in Entra ID, which is under the agents, right, which is Copilot agents, right? So you can see that currently it is not implemented or integrated with this subscription or tenant at all, but there is a detail about it that we can go ahead and do that, right? So let's jump back to the Intune portal and I'll show you from where and how we can do that. So in Intune portal, we have Explorer option over here, or the feature we can call it, right? So this feature is going to allow us to integrate with Intune, right? So this is going to be the Security Copilot plus Microsoft Intune, right? And you can see that it needs security administrator role to set this Security Copilot up, right? So these are the different actions that we can take as an Intune administrator, Intune expert, right? All those people who have a right set of permissions on Intune on the device management side, and whatever the work that they are doing manually, that everything can be assessed and taken the reactive and proactive actions, right, upon implementing Security Copilot, right? So this is how it is going to help them to speed up their work and make sure they are working effectively, right? And this is going to be set up over here, right? So now currently it is not set it up. That is why you cannot see that is being here, and it is showing that you don't have access to Copilot in Microsoft Intune, right? And there's one a complete document that is under the Intune document, which talks about before you begin, what are the steps that you should take and how you can go ahead and take those steps in order to implement that one. So there are steps starting from exploring this one, right? And then once it is integrated, then we can give it a natural language prompts, then it is going to results back us, right? The way we are using any of the AI tools like ChatGPT or Copilot, right? So something like that only, and similar to that, it is also going to accept the natural language and is going to give us the details about the environment, right? And this document talks about what are the data which we can explore, right? Including devices, applications, configuration policies, compliance, application configurations, and app protections as well. And there are some of the inbuilt examples that we can leverage for our basic requirements, initial needs, and understand and explore all those basic prompts, right? Those are the built-in prompts. Those are available for each and every subscription across the Intune management or device management, as well as into the Security Copilot as well. And then you will get the results, right, upon asking a particular questions or prompts, right? And then once we do that, we get some of the matching criterias or devices or whatever the context we have been asking, it is going to give us the results, right? So once we have those results, we can go ahead and take the appropriate actions, right? So actions could be either synchronize the device or deploy appropriate applications or make the security stronger for those number of devices. Probably it is going to suggest us to create endpoint security policy and deploy it on number of devices, right? Because those are devices not falling under the particular security endpoint or endpoint security policy, right? Those could be the situations where we have to go ahead and deploy those policies appropriately. And also it might show you, it is going to show you the non-compliant devices as well. So how you can take those actions, whether you should adjust and make changes in your compliance policy in order to make those devices and fall under the compliance policy. If that is not the case, then probably you need to work on the device hardware improvements, because if the device hardware is lower, which is not meeting the compliance policy and your org-wide security and compliance requirements, definitely that's going to lack all of this compliance and configurations, right? So these are the few examples that I'm talking about, but there are so many areas where it is going to help you to identify and work on those areas. At the same time, improve on your continuous security and compliance posture as well. So now this is in context of Intune. Similarly, on the Entra ID side as well, and overall identity access management, including policies and users and groups and applications and everything together, that we can go ahead and make use of Security Copilot for different use cases, right? So this is how it is going to be in the Intune context, right? And then we can set it up, right? So let's talk about the Enter ID, right? So in the Enter ID, we have agents, and over here we would simply go ahead and bring that agents to the Entra portal, right? And once we do that, that is going to be available for us to both, as I said, be it proactive and reactive situations or activities, and it's going to help us to make use of it, right? Now, you might be wondering why I'm saying this, showing this, and talking about this one, because we can simply go ahead and implement and integrate. That's right, we can go ahead and do that, but definitely we should also need to make sure and understand how this is going to help us and what are the things are available, right? And basis on that, we should be going ahead with it, right? So this is how it is. And there is also a step-by-step document which guides us from the beginning till the implementation of Security Copilot with Security Administrator right, of course, or Security Admin role, and then we should be ready for the same. So here's that document which talks about how we can go ahead and implement it. And it also gives the details about what is Security Copilot, right? So it's a generative AI security product that empowers security and IT professionals to respond to cyber threats, process signals, and assess risk exposure at the speed and scale of AI, right? So this is going to give you complete details and how you can go ahead and implement it. And even it has given a lot of details about what are the minimum requirements, right? And how we can go ahead and deploy it, right? So minimum requirements is with Azure subscription, and then security compute units that we need to bring on to while subscribing or while implementing Security Copilot, right? So I'm going to show you that as well in this another video, because this is a basic, a kind of prerequisites that I'm showing and talking about, right? And there is more details to it as well. And definitely it's going to be something that anyone or any decision maker who wanted to go ahead and deploy this capability and solution across the organization or specific project or specific needs, they would think about it. They wanted to know about it, how we can go ahead and purchase it, or maybe we wanted to use for the client projects, right? Because this is something client not expect, or even if they wanted to use it, then definitely they would think about the different areas. Do we have really skilled people for this to be able to use and handle and work on it, right? Do we have appropriate billing models? How much it is going to cost us per month and annually, as well as quarterly, and how it is going to add value to the business at the same time, right? So those are the things would come up and come in picture as well. And upon that, decision makers will think about it whether they wanted to go ahead and use it for the business, right? So this is something is going to be taken from top to bottom, and basis on that, it's going to be uh, taken into considerations, right? So next is capacity. While uh, implementing this one, we need to make sure use the right appropriate capacity, and which is in Azure resource that contains SCUs, which are provisioned for Security Copilot, right? Which is available to manage capacity by increasing or decreasing provision SCUs within Azure portal and or Security Copilot basically, and that can be managed as and when needed. Then there are options for us to onboard Security Copilot, starting from option first, which is a recommended one by provisioning capacity within Security Copilot, and then second is provisioning capacity through Azure portal, right? And those are mentioned over here as well. You can see there are some of the other supported roles included, including billing admin, Intune admin, preview, purview, Entra compliance, purview organization management, purview data governance, administration as well. So this is the first option and a recommended one as per Microsoft. All right. And definitely we can go ahead and start by implementing this one. So here's the URL. If I have to go ahead and implement it for this subscription, we can simply go ahead and do that, starting with securitycopilot.microsoft.com, and then we can get started, right? So while doing it, as I said, it needs Azure subscription. And once we have that one, definitely we should be ready to go ahead and implement it, right? So you can see that it is loading, and this is the complete details, which is asking us to set this up, right? Without this setup, it is not going to work at all, right? So starting from Azure subscription, then resource group, capacity name, and you can go ahead and prompt evaluation location where you wanted to evaluate those, and capacity region as well. And then you can select the number of units that you wanted to use and keep provisioned for your Security Copilot, as this is a complete managed service on top of Azure subscription or Azure cloud basically. And that is how it is going to charge you, because it's also going to use compute resources and compute units, right? And basis on that, you can see it is going to charge per unit, which is this one. And there is this option which says use coverage units when needed. That means this is an additional unit that is going to be used. And there is another option for us to number of on-demand units, and set a maximum limit if in case we wanted to use 1 unit per hour or something like that, right? So if in case we wanted to put some limit, and if no, then we should simply select no limits at all, right? So this is how it is going to be set up and enabled and implemented across the organization, right? Now let's jump back to the previous page where we were talking about options, right? So this is the option one. It has the complete details, and also I'm going to show you in another video how we can go ahead and do that. And this is going to be ready for us to implement or use it basically. The option two is provision capacity in Azure, right? So by creating resource groups and creating appropriate security compute units, it's going to allow us to set it up, and based on that, we can go ahead and use it at the same way, right? And there's option, or there's a straightforward way for offboarding as well. If in case we or any organization, they don't want to use it for any reason or number of reasons, then they can simply offboard it as well. So this is given over here in this document, and upon following the steps, you can simply offboard it, right? So that's going to be straightforward and easy to as well, right? So yep, that is what I wanted to show you in this video and talk about it, right? And hope you like it, hope you learned something new. And let me know if you have any questions, any doubts, anything, and I would be happy to answer any of those and collaborate on any of those things, right? And yep, that's all. Kindly like this video, share it with your friends and people around you so that they can also know and learn about it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, right? So that you get to see every new video available and upload it on the channel. So, right, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.